Hello and welcome. This is Julian with Life Edit and Design. And today we're going to go through what the actual process is of lifestyle design. So you're probably familiar with the concept, but now you're like, well, how do I do it? What are the steps? So let's go through that. There are 5 steps basically, and we're going to go through each of these steps. So the first one is to do some self-reflection. And again, we'll dive deep into each one. So prioritize your areas, create a plan, take action, and review and edit. And you'll find that these steps are very simple. So lifestyle design does not need to be complex. And so we'll break it down. It'll be a very simple process. But before we begin, let's make sure that we're all on the same page as to what lifestyle design is. So it's a way of crafting your life that's in alignment. That's the biggest thing. It's in alignment with what you want your life to be about. So your values, your interests, your priorities, not somebody else's, not society's. So it's breaking free of the societal plan. You're going to do this, and this, those steps. That's not what lifestyle design is about. It's about finding out what your steps are and following through and how you want to spend your time, your money, your energy, and not, again, the dictates of your family, your corporate job or your solopreneur job or anything like that. It's really taking a time to be very conscious about what you want and designing your life around those processes. Just real quick, my name is Julian Price. If we haven't already met, I am a solopreneur lifestyle designer, and I am also an infinite possibilities coach, which is all about thoughts become things. I have 2 furry critters and 2 non-furry critters for kids. And I really believe that everyone should be designing their life. We've never been taught this in school, which is such a waste. Why school has never, they give you the traditional plan and tell you to follow that and get good grades. And it's not the plan anymore. It never was, but now we're awake to it. And so I'm very passionate about having everybody have a plan that is of their design and not somebody else's. So let's dive in and let's get going. So step 1 is self-reflection. And you would think this would be easy. I don't know why. Like it was the hardest thing for me was, what do you want? What do you really, really want at that soul deep level? Not so much of, oh, I want a new car or I want to pay off my student loans or anything like that. But what do you really want for your life? What does that look like? And I think the clue sometimes is in those some days. Like someday I would like to do this. And if you have a statement like that, then that's one of those clues. That's something that you really, really want. So you want to get in and really look at what is it that lights you up, what makes you excited, what makes you very, very happy. And those are the things that you want to start to build your life around. And the some days again can become tomorrow. I really want this thing. Let's start working toward it. For me, my someday was always, to be financially free. And I'm there now. So, it is possible. You get where you want to go. And the other thing, one of my some days that you can't see, it's off to the side, is I just bought a sauna the other day. And that's been on my list for so long. So some days can happen when you make a plan and you get going. So it starts with that self-reflection. What is it you want at that soul deep level? Once you have that, then you need to prioritize. And I guess this is where I think most people fall apart with lifestyle design is if they finally get their head wrapped around what they want, they try to do it all. And you can't. So you have to prioritize. What can you do now? Like what's going to move the needle the most? What's going to make you the happiest the most? Or what's the easiest thing that you can do right now? Because if you get that little win under your belt, then you'll have some more energy, more motivation, more belief, more confidence to go forward. So start with that smallest thing, maybe either the smallest thing, what's going to light you up, or that thing that thinks will make the most impact. So maybe if it's fixing your health, if you got your health in order, maybe so many other things will start to fall in line. Or maybe it's just something simple like starting a new routine that you've wanted to do for so long and you just haven't done it. Like maybe becoming a subject matter expert on something that you've really been passionate about, but you haven't really dove in and done the actual studying for it. That's one of the things I'm doing right now is studying how to make really good visualizations, like recorded visualizations. It's something I always enjoyed, but I've never actually taken the time to study it and figure out how to create these, how to make them great. So prioritize what's going to do that for you, what's going to bring you the most joy, and get into that. Decide what you're going to do now and what can wait. Doesn't mean that you're not going to do it. It just means you're going to push it off for now. After you've got that, then you need to create a plan, right? How are you going to do it? And I love what Tony Robbins says. He says, commit to the outcome you want. So commit to the results, not so much like create a goal and make a SMART goal. I can't stand SMART goals, but instead commit to that outcome. What do you want to happen? And then once you see that outcome, work backwards. What has to happen for you to have done that? So if you said, you wanted to be in the fittest shape of your life, well, what has to happen for that? working backwards, like, okay, well, if I was going to be in the best shape of my life, then I would have had to have a routine for regular exercise, strength training, and maybe, physically moving every day. It doesn't have to be cardio, just moving. So if that has to happen, then okay, if you need to have a strength routine, what has to happen there? You need to maybe get some equipment, maybe you need to learn some things. And so you work backwards from that outcome that you're committed to. And that's the big thing, commit to it. You have to commit. And that's also why you want to prioritize. So you only have to commit to one thing at a time, really focus on it and get good at that before you add another layer, another goal that you're going after. So create those milestones, work backwards, and then set up some timelines. Like, how's this going to happen? So if you've got this fitness plan and one of the steps is to get some equipment, well, when are you going to get the equipment by? Now start to set some deadlines so that you can make each of the milestones happen and move forward. So you've got a plan. Obviously, now you need to take action. Do it. You've got some deadlines. You've got some things you put into place. Now you actually have to get out and do stuff. Start walking. Start lifting weights. Start going to the gym if that's what it was. I love kettlebell. There's so much you can do with a kettlebell. So simple things. You don't have to spend a ton of money to make your dreams come true. You just have to start taking action. And the important thing is to expect that learning curve. Expect that the things that you try might not work, or what you thought was going to be so easy is really very hard, and you have to get good at it. Very much about kicking perfectionism to the curb. Make progress, don't make perfection, and I think that's very important. So when you're taking action, have grace with yourself. Understand that it's not going to be exactly the way it was in your head. You're actually going to have some curveballs thrown at you, but you can do it. And then comes the next important step, which is that reflect and adjust. What happened in your head is not what's going to happen out in the real world, right? So as you start to learn things and as you're starting to make progress, you realize you may have to change your goals. Maybe the strength training method you picked wasn't one that excites you. Maybe you need to do something else. Maybe you were planning to do yoga every day and you find out you like bar better, something like that. You're always going to have to adjust the plan. So review your progress, see if you're getting happier, if you're moving towards your goal, if you're starting to achieve the milestones, celebrate the ones that you are achieving, and learn from the ones that just didn't quite hit home. And it's all part of the learning process. And then you just correct course, right? You make changes. You say, well, I tried that and I learned from that. And I learned that doesn't make things work for me. Maybe you joined a gym for a few weeks and you decided, getting out of my house every day doesn't work for me. And I want to work out at home. Or maybe you tried working out at home and you're like, if won't do it if I'm at home. I have to get out of the house so I can focus on it. Same results, but different actions. So you're going to make course corrections to really figure out what's the best way for you to do things. And again, expect the curveballs, expect that life's going to happen. So stay flexible. That's very, very important. Things are going to happen all the time. So you've got this 5-step plan. It's pretty simple, but be flexible. Be willing to change up your actions because it's going to happen, and adjust the goals even. So if you felt like, oh, I wanted to do X, Y, and Z by 3 months from now, maybe you realize that that's not realistic, not achievable for you. So you change the goals. Or maybe as you started to work on it, you said, that's not really the issue. Something else is the issue. Maybe strength training really wasn't the issue for you. It was just getting out and moving more, or having friends involved, or something, or finding a sport that you liked and strength training didn't do it for you, but you decided you wanted to join a basketball team or join pickleball or something to get yourself enjoying it more. And remember that life is completely unpredictable. Things are going to happen. Your moods are going to change. And I actually do a whole course on mood management because that's such a big key factor in how well you're able to adapt to these plans and how flexible you are. If you can control your moods, you can really have that commitment. And I guess that's I'm getting on a side tangent, but that's another big thing. So check out the mood manager if you are looking for that. But anyway, it gives you that ability to handle life's unpredictability because you can control what's going on inside and be like, hey, I can pull myself back into a good mood even when the world throws me this huge curveball. And this is, I guess, my biggest tip for you is when you're following these 5 steps, to remember to be kind to yourself, to give yourself grace. Remember to relax. You don't need to, if your fitness goal, you don't need to go 7 days a week, right? Have those days of resting and recharging. Have those days to just celebrate what you've done. Make sure that you're in contact with other people, that it's not all in your head. Share what you're doing with other people. Get out with friends. Just, recharge the batteries. Just sit outside with a nice book and feel relaxed. And I think I struggle with this sometimes is I'm always like, what am I doing next? What am I doing next? And I have to remember sometimes that, on Sunday, read a book all day if that's what I want to do, instead of saying, oh, well, I need to get everything done. I need to start planning. I need to line up the week for week ahead. And so it's something I have to constantly remind myself is practice self-care. Take care of you so that you have the energy to go forward and do the next thing. So, final thoughts. Lifestyle design is ongoing. It's never done. The road never ends. You're always going to be on a journey of some sort, and you're always going to be refining your plans. What you wanted this year is not going to be the same thing you want next year, and that's okay. Some goals are just going to fade away without you accomplishing them because they're no longer relevant. They're no longer important. And the whole point is to enjoy the journey. Lifestyle design is a process. It's something that you flow through, but it's ongoing. It never ends, and why not enjoy the ride? Have a great time. So, parting thoughts for you is just next time, if you want to get even more into this, I recommend designing your ideal day, which is a great way to just, again, get your feet wet. It takes using your values and priorities and starting to take action on those and making sure that your priorities are built into your day. So, if you have a goal of, again, being fitness oriented, maybe doing strength training or design, joining a team, it helps you integrate those things right into your day so that it's part of your day, and your ideal day includes things that really light you up and make you feel happy. So you'll find the links down below. And I will, well, the Mood Manager course isn't done yet, but as soon as I have that done, you'll be able to find that over at Life Edit and Design, so you can find out more about that. But thanks so much for spending these few moments with me. I enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you next time. Take care.